Hello everyone, this is the Ramarao physics faculty in TTW RJNR. So today I will going to start electrostatics. So what is an electrostatics? Electrostatics means the study of properties of charges. The study of properties of charges which are at rest. This is a Q1 charge, this is a Q2 charge. We should have to study regarding these charges. The study of properties of charges at rest is called as an electrostatics. These charges are again divided into two types. They are called as, first one is a positive charge and second one is a negative charge. The charges are again divided into two types. They are called as first one is a positive charge, second one is a negative charge. Suppose consider two positive charges. This is a Q1, one positive charge. This is a Q2, another positive charge. These are called as like charges. Like charges are repel one to each other like this. So the charge would be repel the charge with a force of F of 1 to 2. The charge also repel for the charge with a force of F of 2 to 1. Like charges are repels one to each other. In case of unlike charges, let be one is a positive charge, another one is a negative charge. These two charges are separated at certain distance, or then these two charges will be attracts one to each other with a certain amount of force. This force of attraction or the force of repulsion between any two charges is called as interaction force, is called as an interaction force. Is called as an interaction force. So the interaction force between two charges is direct proportional to product of the magnitude of those two charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Let me consider two charges Q1, second one is a Q2. They are separated by a small distance r. The force of interaction between these two charges is F, is direct proportional to product of the magnitude of these two charges, that is Q1 mod of Q1 mod of Q2, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them, that is pi r square. Therefore, F is equal to some constant. When we have removed proportional, we are getting some constant k into Q1 into Q2 by r square, where k is called as a proportional constant or dielectric constant. Its value is k is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is called as permittivity. So its value is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 Coulomb square upon Newton meter square. When this value is substituted in the above equation, then you are getting the constant value k is equal to 1 by 4, pi value is 3.14 into epsilon naught value is 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So this value is equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9. This is called as a proportional constant value k. Suppose these two charges are placed in any medium, then suppose consider these two charges. This is a Q1 charge, second one is a Q2 charge. These two charges are placed in any medium, like this, any medium. Then the force between these two charges is given as F is equal to 1 by Fm, medium. The force between these two charges in a medium is given as Fm is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon m into Q1 into Q2 upon r square, where epsilon m is called as a permittivity of the medium, where epsilon m is called as a permittivity of the medium. Therefore, so from this two equations is very clear that F A upon Fm is equal to epsilon m upon epsilon naught. This is called as a relative permeability, relative permittivity of the medium. This is also represented by capital K dash, which is represented by capital K dash, which is called as a relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. Now, I will discuss effect of dielectric or effect of dielectric on interaction force between two charges. Suppose consider here two charges. These are two charges Q1, another charge is Q2. This is a Q2. These two charges are separated by a small distance r. The force of interaction between these two charges is given by F. Suppose consider a dielectric of dielectric constant K. This is a dielectric of dielectric constant K and thickness T, which is introduced between the dielectric of dielectric constant K and thickness T introduced between these two charges. Then how would be the force changes here? So this length also already knows T. This length is also, this total distance also already knows R. The remaining distance will be R minus T. This R minus T. Before placing the dielectric constant, the distance between this charge and this point is R1. Let be R1 this is, and this distance also R2. Therefore, before placing the dielectric constant, already you know, from the interaction force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 upon R square. So from this dielectric, in form of dielectric constant, K dash into R square is equal to some constant. So before placing the dielectric constant R1 square, before placing the dielectric constant, the permittivity of the free space is nothing but a 1 square is equal to, after placing the dielectric of thickness T and a constant K, T into T square, K R square is equal to constant, that is equal to T square into K. K R square is equal to constant. From this, K R square is constant, K1 R1 square is equal to K2 R2 square is already knows. So K1 means K1 before placing 1 into R1 square is equal to K2 square. That means K2 square into what is the dielectric constant before placing that? That is equal to T square, K into T square. Therefore, R1 square is equal to root K into T. R1 is equal to root over root K into T. This is the distance after placing. Therefore, the net distance between these two charges is given by R dash is equal to root 2 K into T plus R minus T. Therefore, the net interaction force between these two charges is given by F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 upon R square. R square means root K into T plus R minus T of whole square. So this is called as the force of interaction between these two charges. When T is equal to 0, that means when the dielectric constant has to be removed from these two charges. When T is equal to 0, then what happens? F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 upon R square. This is similar to the force exerted in the free space. That means when the dielectric of dielectric constant K and thickness T is introduced between the charges, so the force would be decreased. When the dielectric is removed, the force be increases. So this is the relation between the interaction force when a dielectric is placed between the charges and removing between the charges. Next, on the interaction force, I shall discuss some problems. Here here one problem was given. A particle of mass m carrying a charge minus q1 is moving around a fixed charge plus q2 along the circular path of radius r. Find the time period of revolution of the charge q1. Here what was given? a charge of mass m, it has mass m, charge minus q1, which is revolving around a fixed charge q2 of radius r along the circular path of radius r. Find the time period of the rotation of the charge q1. This time period we will have to calculate now. When the charge is revolving in a circular path around a fixed charge q2, so between these two charges interaction force would be presented, electrostatic interaction force. This electrostatic interaction force Fe, which is balanced by a centrifugal force Fc, centrifugal force. When the centrifugal force would be balances with the Coulomb electrostatic interaction force between these two charges, then this particle would be revolving in the circular path of radius r. At the equilibrium condition, what happens? These two forces will be equal. That is equal to Fe is equal to centrifugal force Fc, both are will be equal. So what is the electrostatic force of interaction between these two charges? The force of interaction between these charges is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught mod of q1 minus mod of q2 is equal to mv square by r, where mv square by r is nothing but centrifugal force. Therefore, this is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 minus mod of q1 is nothing but q1. This is nothing but q2 upon r square is equal to mv square upon r. On both sides r will be gets cancelled. Therefore, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 upon r is equal to mv square. When a particle is performing in a circular path of radius r like this, when a particle is performing in a circular path of radius r with a linear velocity v and it has some angular velocity omega, so the linear velocity can be written as v is equal to r omega, already knows. Now this value substitute here, then we will getting one by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 upon r is equal to m. V square means r square omega square, r square omega square. Therefore, the angular frequency of the rotation of the particle is given by omega square is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 by m r cube, m into r cube. Here r is there, r square is there, r square into r is nothing but r cube. The angular frequency is given by omega is equal root over 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 by m into r cube, where omega is called as an angular velocity, which is equal to 2 pi, omega is equal to 2 pi f. 2 pi f is equal to root over q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into mr cube, or F is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root over q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into mr cube. So, we will have to calculate the time period of the rotation, which is gives the frequency of the rotation of the particle. Now, we will have to calculate the time period of the rotation of the particle. T is equal to 1 by f. The reciprocal of the frequency is called as the time period, that is T is equal to 1 by f, that is equal to 2 pi into root over 4 pi epsilon naught mr cube upon q1 into q2. So, this is a time period of the rotation of the particle. So, in the simplest form, this also I am writing like this. T is equal to, this 2 pi is taken inside, then it will become root over 4 pi square into epsilon naught mr cube upon q1 into q2 into 4 pi epsilon naught is there into 4 pi epsilon naught. Therefore, T is equal to root over 16, 4 4 the 16, pi square into pi nothing but pi cube into epsilon naught into m r cube upon q1 into q2, which is gives the time period of the rotation of the particle, which is gives the time period of the rotation of the particle of charge q1. Next one is two identical balls, each having the density rho, are suspended from a common point by two insulating strings of equal length. Both the balls have the equal mass and charge. In equilibrium, each string makes an angle theta with the vertical. Now, both the balls are immersed in a liquid. As a result, the angle theta does not change. The density of the liquid is sigma. Find the dielectric constant of the liquid. So, what was given in the problem? Two identical balls was given. Two identical balls, each having the density rho. They are suspended from a common point. Suppose consider two identical balls. Two identical balls. These are nothing but two identical balls. This is one of the ball, and this is nothing but another one of the ball. They are carrying the same amount of the charge, and both will have the same mass m. And they are suspended from a common point, insulating strings. These are nothing but two strings and two strings. At the equilibrium condition, each ball will be makes an angle theta with the vertical like this. This ball also making some angle theta with the vertical. This ball also making some angle theta with the vertical. At the equilibrium condition, let be these two balls will be at a distance of x, at a distance of x with respect to a common point. So, with respect to a common point, these two balls will be at a distance of x, right. We wish find out dielectric constant of the liquid. The forces acting on the systems are, first one is gravitational force of this ball sphere is acting downward direction mg. Second one is the tensional force would be acting along the direction, and weight is also acting downward direction. So this ball also has the same charge and same mass. Between these two balls, Coulomb repulsion force will be presented, that is nothing but F of E. So which is acting away from this. Here also on this Coulomb repulsion force will be presented acting, that is F of E, where F of E is equal to K Q square upon x square. This is nothing but a Coulomb repulsion force. The gravitational force is acting downward direction. Tensile force would be acting away from this ball, away from the touching point, and electrostatic force would be acting along the direction. So here tension force can be resolved into two rectangular components. This angle is theta, this angle also would be theta, right? This tension force can be resolved into two rectangular components. They are called as, first one is a T cos theta in the direction of angle, other than direction of angle is a T sin theta. At the equilibrium condition, T sin theta is balanced with the electrostatic force and T cos theta is balanced with the weight of this ball or weight of this ball. Therefore, at the equilibrium condition, T sin theta, which is balanced by Coulomb repulsive force, that is Fe. Second one is the T cos theta, which is balanced with weight of this ball. Let me this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2. Equation number 1 divided by with equation number 2, then you are getting T sin theta upon T cos theta, which is equal to Fe upon mg. In the numerator and denominator, T gets cancelled. Sin theta upon cos theta is nothing but tan theta. This is the tan theta. Tan theta is equal to Fe upon mg. So the force of interaction between these two balls in the air is given by Fe is equal to mg into tan theta. Therefore, the mass of the ball we should have to convert in form of a density. The density of the ball is given by rho is equal to m by b. Mass by volume is called a density. Mass per unit volume is called a density. Their mass is given as m is equal to rho into v. This is the mass of the ball. This value put here. Then we will getting the electrostatic force of interaction between these two balls is given by rho v into g into tan theta. This is the electrostatic force of interaction when these two balls are suspended in the air. Now next, now both the balls are immersed in a liquid. As a result, the angle theta does not change. The density of the liquid is sigma. Find the dielectric constant of the liquid. In the second case, let me this equation number here. In the second case, this whole arrangement is immersed in a liquid like this. In the second case, this whole arrangement is dipped in the liquid like this. This is a vertical direction. This is a reference ball already we have taken. This ball is immersed in a liquid like this. It has density sigma. Theta does not change in the liquid. This is the theta does not change. In this case also, the weight of the ball is acting downward direction. The buoyant force due to the liquid which is acting upward direction Fb, and tension force also would be acting upward direction like this, which is also making some angle theta. So when the system is immersed in a liquid, the net resultant force on the system will be given as F dash is equal to mg minus Fb. The difference of these two forces will be give the resultant force acting on this. That is F dash is equal to F dash is equal to mg minus m dash g, where m dash g is called as a band force acting on this ball. So already you know rho is equal to m by v. From this m is equal to rho v, which is the mass of this ball. The mass of the liquid which is acting upward direction on the circumference of the balls is given by m dash is equal to sigma into v, since the density of the liquid is given as sigma. Therefore, these two values substitute in the above equation, then we are getting the net force acting on the balls is given by rho Vg minus sigma into Vg. So F dash is equal from these two terms, Vg is a common, take Vg is a common, rho minus sigma. This is the net force acting on this. Therefore, in this case, the electrostatic Coulomb force is given by F liquid is equal to, what is this, rho Vg? Rho Vg means this value put, this value substitute here, Vg into rho minus sigma into tan theta. This is the equation number B. Now we will have to calculate the dielectric constant. Equation number A divided with equation number B, then we will getting the dielectric constant, that is equal to rho Vg into tan theta upon Vg rho minus sigma into tan theta. In the numerator and denominator, tan theta gets cancelled, Vg also cancelled. This is equal to F air upon F liquid is equal to rho by rho minus sigma. The force, the ratio of force in the air to force in the liquid between two charges is called as the dielectric constant, that is equal to K dash, where K dash is equal to the dielectric constant of the liquid is given by K dash is equal to rho upon rho minus sigma. This is called as the dielectric constant of the given liquid. Suppose when a problem would be asked on this concept, suppose if rho is equal to 1.5 and sigma is equal to 0.5, then find the dielectric. In the previous problem, if the rho is given 1.5, sigma is equal to 0.5, then calculate the dielectric constant of the liquid. So directly substitute in this equation. Therefore, K dash is equal to rho means 1.5 upon 1.5 minus 0.5, that is equal to 1.5 upon 1, that is equal to 1.5. The dielectric constant of the liquid is given as K dash is equal to 1.5. Next one is 4 charges equal to minus q are placed at the 4 corners of a square and a charge q is at the center. If the system is in equilibrium, find the value of q. What is the value of q? So in this problem, what was given? 4 charges are given. They have equal magnitude minus q, are placed at the 4 corners of a square, and another one charge is placed at its center. If the whole system is in equilibrium condition, then what is the magnitude of the charge which is placed at the center of the square? We have to calculate the magnitude of the charge which is placed at the center. Let us consider 4 charges. They have equal magnitude minus q, this also minus q, equal magnitude minus q. They are placed at the four vertices, four corners of a square, and a charge q is at its center. One more charge q is placed at its center. If the system is in equilibrium, then find this value. Four charges are placed at the four corners of a square. Side you don't know, side was not given. Let me side of the each side of the square is nothing but a. This is also a, and this also would be a. All sides of squares are have equal lengths, that is a. If the net resultant force of the system would be equal to the attraction force between this charge or any one of the net, the attraction force between this charge and this charge or net force, then the system would be in equilibrium condition. First we have to calculate, the net resultant force of the system. I would like to calculate the net force of the system when a charge is placed at this point A. Let be the corners of the square is A, B, C and D. These are same type of the charges. It would be express the force along the direction, that is F1. F1 is equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square. K into mod of Q1 Q2 by R square, that is Q square upon A square, which is acts along the direction. The force between these two charges will be acts along the direction, that is equal to F is equal to K into Q square upon A square. These two forces are equal in magnitude. They are acting at an angle of 90 degrees on the charge. Therefore, the resultant of these two forces will be acts along the direction, that is called, this angle is 90 degrees. The resultant of these two forces will be acts along the direction, that is equal to these are at an angle of 90 degrees, they are acting at an angle of 90 degrees. This also F and this also F. The resultant of these two forces will be acts along the direction. This angle is 90 degrees. Therefore, we should apply parallelogram law of vector. The resultant force F dash is equal to F1 square plus F2 square root over F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. Cos theta is 90 degrees, theta value 90 degrees, that value 0, that is equal to root 2 into F. The resultant of these two forces root 2 F, which is acts along the direction, that is root 2 into F. Next, one more charge is there. This charge also experiences the force along the direction like this. So, from this triangle here, see what is this length? We will have to calculate this length. This length is A and this length is also A. This is 90 degrees. This is nothing but a right angle triangle. From this right angle triangle, this CA is given by under root of what is that? Root 2A. Root A is nothing but this distance. This also explains the force along the direction. Suppose let be this is nothing but F double dash, where F double dash is equal to what an F double dash? F double dash is equal to K into Q square upon R square. K into Q square upon R square. R square means root 2A of whole square. That is F double dash is equal to K Q square upon 2 into A square. Therefore, F double dash is equal to this value also already know, K Q square upon A square is nothing but F. So, F that is equal to F. This is also F that is equal to F by 2. The net force of the system is given as, what is that? This also expresses the force along the direction. What is this? F by 2. The net force of the system is given by Fr is equal to root 2 F plus F by 2, that is equal to F into root 2 plus 1 by 2. This is the resultant force of the system. This force would be equal to the force of attraction between these two charges. Then the system will be in the equilibrium condition. Now we will have to calculate the attraction force between these two charges. Therefore, the attraction force between these two charges is given by F triple dash. F triple dash is equal to K into the force of interaction between those charges, Q into capital Q upon the distance between these two charges square. This total distance also already you know is root 2a. So this is a half of the distance. This would be a by root 2. This total distance is nothing but a root 2a. This half of the distance would be a by root 2. So the force of attraction between these charges is given by KQQ upon a by root 2 of whole square. That is equal to F triple dash is equal to 2KQQ upon a square. This is nothing but the force of interaction between this charge and this charge. When this force will be equal to the resultant force of the system, then the system will be in the equilibrium condition. We will have to find out the magnitude of the charge now. The resultant of the force of the system already we have calculated, that is Fr is equal to when F triple dash is equal to Fr, then the system will be in the equilibrium condition. What is the F triple dash value? 2KQQ upon a square is equal to F into root 2 plus 1 by 2. 2KQ into Q upon a square is equal to F value is KQ square upon a square into root 2 plus 1 by 2. On both sides KK will be gets cancelled, and one Q also gets cancelled. Remaining value is a 2Q. A also gets cancelled in the denominator. TQ is equal to Q into root 2 plus 1 by 2, or small q is equal to q by 2 into root 2 plus 1 by 2, or small q is equal to q by 4 into, this is take common, 2 root 2 plus 1. So when this much magnitude of the charge will be placed at the center of the square, then the system will be in the equilibrium condition. The system will be in the equilibrium condition. Next one is next one is this is a very important problem and a very important model in IIT mains and advanced. A ring of radius r is with a uniform charge distributed, charge capital Q on it. A charge Q is now placed at the center of the ring. Find the increment in the tension in the ring. So, what was given here? A ring of radius capital R. This is a ring. It has the radius capital R, with a uniform charge distributed on it. A charge is given over the ring, capital Q charge is given. The charge has to be distributed within the fraction of seconds for this like this. For this, the charge has to be distributed like this. A charge Q, small q, is placed at the center of the ring. Find the increment in the thing. Find increment in the tension in the ring. When a charge Q is placed at the center, what happens? This charge and this distribution charge is repulsing one to each other. So, due to that, the tension will be increased in the ring. So, the increment of the tension we should have to calculate now. Suppose consider a small elements, so many number of elements. It is let be small element, so many number of elements. This each element has the length dl and having the charge dq. What happens? It would be express the force along the direction. It would be also express the force along the direction. It is express the force along the direction in all directions like this. Due to repulsive forces acting along the circumference of the ring, due to this charge, the tension will be increased. Right. We wish find out the increment of the tension in the ring. Let be a small element over this ring. This is a small element. This is a small element, polar element on the ring, which is a subtends at an angle d theta at the center of the ring like this, which is subtend at an angle d theta at the center of the ring. So, when a charge, when another charge dq is placed here, already some charge has to be distributed over this, that is nothing but a dq. When the charge q is placed at the center of the ring, the force will be presented between this dq charge and q charge, that is equal to f or df. The force would be is equal to df. df is equal to k q into dq. Capital Q was given here. This is a capital Q. dq was given, capital dq upon r square. Upon this is a r square, right? Q upon r square. Therefore, due to this force, the tension would be developed on the both ends of the ring of this element. Let be the length of the element is nothing but dl. This tension would be developed on the both sides or on both ends of the element. So, this is the theta. This half of the angle will becomes d theta by 2. This half of the angle will becomes d theta by 2. We wish find out the increment of the tension in the string. The tension can be resolved into rectangular components. One is this angle is d theta by 2. This opposite angle also would be d theta by 2. This is 90 minus d theta by 2. Then this is would be d theta by 2. This angle would be d theta by 2. Here also, this angle is d theta by 2. This angle becomes d theta by 2. So, this is a 90 minus d theta by 2 and this angle would be d theta by 2. Here the tension force can be resolved into two rectangular components. Their first one is T cos d theta by 2 in the direction of angle. Other than direction of angle, T sin d theta by 2. On the same side, on the other side also same. This T can be resolved to two rectangular components. On the other side, as in this side also, T cos d theta by 2. Other than the angle, T sin d theta by 2. Right? Here some amount of the charge has to be distributed like this. at the equilibrium condition, the net force would be equal to the net upward direction acting forces are equal to downward direction acting forces. That is, dF is equal to 2t sin d theta by 2. T sin theta by 2, T sin theta by 2, these two tensional forces are acting downward direction. Electrostatic force is acting upward direction. That is nothing but what is that? That is nothing but dF. Therefore, for the smaller angles, sin theta is approximately equal to theta. Therefore, dF will be 2t into d theta upon 2, because of sin theta is approximately equal to theta. Here 2 gets cancelled. dF is equal to t into d theta. So, what is the force of attraction here? See, where dF is, which is acts along the direction, a charge q is placed, dF will be acting along the direction dF. How much charge has to be distributed over this? This length of the element is nothing but already we have taken dl. The radius of this element, which is subtended at an angle, is a d theta, right? This is a d theta by 2. The remaining half angle will becomes d theta by 2. The force of interaction between these two charges is given by k into q dq upon r square is equal to t into d theta, where dq is equal to, or dq is equal to q by 2 pi r into d theta. Now, this value substitute here, k into q by 2 pi r dq into d theta, which is equal to t into d theta. On both sides, d theta gets cancelled. q upon k value is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 pi r is equal to t. That is, the tensional increment of the tensional force is given by T is equal to q into q upon 8 pi square epsilon naught into r. This is a 4 to the 8 by pi square epsilon naught r. So, this is a increment of the tension. Here see dq upon r square. Here r square is there. Q by 2 pi r square is there. Here we have to calculate this also, r square. This is nothing but the increment of the tension in the wire. Next, okay. Some more applications are there. I will discuss in the next class. Thank you.